Hold it, Colonel. There's something moving out there.
Welcome to the moon, senor.
Frito Bandito, what are you doing here?
Oh, I am the moon parking lot attendant. Now, if you will kindly deposit 1 bag of crunchy Fritos corn chips for the first hour...
Always buy 2 and hide 1 bag for you. Remember, anyone can be a Frito Bandito. Anyone.
President Nixon today called on the nation to observe Monday as a national day of participation with the moon landing. In effect, a holiday. Mr. Nixon ordered federal government offices closed, and he urged other governmental units and as many private employers as possible to give as many employees as possible the day off. Probably a very good idea. People are likely to be quite sleepy during the day on Monday. The president said, as the astronauts go where man has never gone, as they attempt what man has never tried, we on Earth will want, as one people, to be with them in spirit, to share the glory and the wonder, and to support them with prayers that all will go well. Well, if you were with the Apollo 11 astronauts right now, you'd be nearly 1/3 of the way to the moon. Your command module would be docked nose to nose with the lunar module, and you'd no doubt be delighted with how smoothly everything has gone so far. A report on this amazing day from ABC Science Editor Jules Bergman.
Apollo 11 is headed for the moon tonight on a nearly perfect trajectory that'll see Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Mike Collins going into orbit around the moon midday Saturday. All 3 astronauts are in perfect shape, and their Apollo 11 spacecraft functioning so well that the first part of this historic adventure, reaching the moon, now looks like a certainty. Through the long night and the countdown, there never seemed to be any doubt about the outcome. And even at 4 a.m. this morning, it looked as if half of America had surrounded the Cape to witness the launching. An estimated 700,000 persons were gathered along roads, beaches, and parks nearby. The huge Saturn V, visible for many miles to the thousands who were up early, straining to see the first launch of men attempting a landing on the moon. By dawn, the beaches were clogged with cars, trailers, bicycles, and a surging mass of humanity determined to watch it all despite the clinging damp heat. Former President Lyndon Johnson, who had flown in on an Air Force jet yesterday as President Nixon's guest, watched from the VIP stands at the Kennedy Space Center. If all this has happened in the last 12 years, Johnson declared, I wonder why we can't put the same effort into peace for all time. Reverend Ralph Abernathy, who had led a protest march here yesterday, watched the launch today and declared, I really forgot the fact that we have so many hungry people. I was one of the proudest Americans as I stood on this spot. Then, precisely at 9:32 a.m. Eastern Time, the Saturn V thundered into life.
10, 9, ignition sequence start. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. Ladies and gentlemen, right now. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
Slowly. Slowly, but gathering speed. Going beautifully, burning hot, straight and true. There was never any doubt about it. The Saturn V on its 4th manned mission performed flawlessly, inserting Apollo 11 into a perfect Earth orbit out over the Atlantic and setting the stage for its lunar voyage. 2 hours, 44 minutes after liftoff, the 3rd stage rocket ignited again, speeding Apollo 11 up to escape velocity, 25,000 miles an hour, overcoming the Earth's gravity and heading it out toward the moon. 20 minutes later, Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins in Apollo 11 separated from their burned-out booster, then turned the spacecraft around and came back in to dock with Eagle, their lunar module. The docking went exactly as planned, and after checking out connections with the LEM, the astronauts extracted Eagle from the burned-out booster. The booster, using the vented remnants of its own fuel, was then sent into a different flight path, and Apollo 11 was on its way. The spacecraft is aimed so well that an initial mid-course correction tonight has been skipped. One mid-course steering correction is scheduled for tomorrow, and the first live television pictures en route to the moon tomorrow night at 7:32 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which ABC News will bring to you live. Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins headed for man's first landing on the moon, their mission off to a perfect start. This is Jules Bergman, ABC News at Cape Kennedy.
We'll have a progress report on Apollo 11 tonight, later on ABC. And incidentally, if you have any questions about Apollo 11, ABC space experts will be very glad to provide the answers. They will do it during ABC's 30-hour special broadcast beginning Sunday noon, Eastern Daylight Time. Simply drop us a card with your question, send it to ABC News, Apollo 11, Box 1100, New York. Howard and I will be back with more news in a moment.